Hey guys, today we're back with not a case again, but a pretty cool DIY. This is the light up Apple logo on your iPhone. This is definitely not for the faint of heart or anyone who has never opened an electronics before, because you will be pretty scared. But if you are brave, this is what you're gonna get. Let's check it out. This is your boring iPhone with your boring ass Apple logo. This is going to change that. Well, this piece specifically. Everything you need to swap the logos is included. A Phillips, slotted, and a pentalobe screwdriver. Small flat guitar-like picks and longer pry tools. A suction cup to lift the screen. Plastic tweezers, extra padding, and electrical tape in case you fuck up the first time, and of course the actual logo piece. Now first things first, I'm the realist, you always need to turn off your iPhone when opening it up. Then, using the pentalobe driver, remove the two screws around the lightning port. Make sure you set all screws and pieces aside in the same order you took them out. Now attach the suction cup right above the home button, then while holding the aluminum frame down with your fingers, pull up on the screen with the suction cup. It will require some force, so don't be afraid of breaking your screen. Once you've created a gap, either use the pry tool or run your finger around it to continue opening it up. The screen is hinged under the top, so you'll need to pull it down and then lift up. Being very careful not to tear the cable that connects the two at the top. Before touching anything else, we'll need to unplug the battery. Start by removing the two Phillips screws on the battery shield, making sure to remember which one goes where as they're different sizes. Using your nail or the pick, carefully go under the connector and lift it up. Now here's the hard part, removing the battery, which is glued down. Thankfully, Apple includes two pull tabs, which should make things easy. So start by loosening those up, making sure not to rip them off. Then start pulling one by one slowly downwards and hope to the higher powers that this doesn't happen. Break off. If it does, fret not, move on to the other one, and again, carefully and slowly do the same. You may be able to save it like I did and continue pulling again. The key is to stay calm and breathe in through your nose. And voila. We'll get back to the battery in a bit, but let's get the screen out of the way so we don't need to worry about the cord ripping. Start by removing the Phillips screws and again laying them out so you remember which goes where as they are different sizes. Remove the shield and start unplugging the connectors from the bottom to the top. Now that it's easier to work with the battery, heat it up in the back with a hairdryer and use a flat object and start prying under it until it loosens the glue. Always use a flat and preferably plastic object like a card to dig under the battery as you don't want to puncture it. A little bending is fine, but if you really mess up, links below for replacement batteries. Now start removing the tape around the logo, but save these as you'll need it for later. The logo is aluminum plated and glued down pretty firmly, so you need to put a little force into digging under it to pry it up. Once you do, work your way around, but be very careful not to damage the black wire on top of it. Pull it out downwards and scrape away the leftover glue. And you should be left with this, a big ass hole in your phone. Now let's prep the screen where the logo will draw power from. There's a piece of tape covering some solder points, remove that with the tweezers, then give it a quick scrape for any glue residue that will affect the connection. Now install the new logo by popping it into place. You'll feel it kind of click in when done. Now the old logo piece sat under the black ribbon, but this one can be just placed on top. Use the tape you saved from before, or you can cut some electrical tape yourself to keep it in place. Place the battery back in to hold the wire in place, then reconnect the screen by going in order from bottom to top. You'll hear or feel them click in place, and then install the shield back on when you're done. Now here's the last stretch till home. Take a piece of foam and place it right at the tip of the cable so that it makes a T shape. Make sure the cable doesn't extend beyond the solder points, and then line them up to the 3 points on the screen. This may or may not take several tries. Don't worry, I was in the same boat. Push it firmly in place, then place the second foam piece along the side so half of it is on the cable and the other half is on the screen to keep it flat. Then place a piece of electrical tape tightly stretched over the whole contraption. Now there is a piece that sticks out on the bottom as well with a resistor of some sort attached under it. Make sure it hides flat under a notch so it doesn't push against the screen later, and tape it down. Plug the battery back in and screw in the shield. Then fold it over, but making sure you hook in the top edge first. Don't close it all the way yet, leave a little gap and turn on your iPhone to check if the magic happens. Once verified, run your fingers along the edges to make sure everything sits flush. Then install the pentalobe screws back in place. And that's it. You're now officially a cool motherfucker. The whole kit and everything you need to perform the surgery costs about $30 for the 6 and 6S, a few more dollars for the 6 Plus and 6S Plus. It does come in a few different colors. I got the blue because it kind of reminds me of, well, Apple. I'm going to repeat it again, this is not a beginner's DIY project. You should have some knowledge about opening and dissecting iPhones. The hardest part is definitely removing the battery for the first time. If you break the tab like I did, it can be quite a hassle to remove, but I did link replacement batteries below if you do screw it up that badly. Of course, I also have links to David's official instructional videos below, so check those out if you need more details. He also provides step-by-step instructions, so you cannot go wrong if you know how to follow instructions, which is probably like 3% of you. I included in that 92%. Wait. Anyways, let me know if you're one of the brave ones by commenting below if you successfully completed the surgery. If you liked my video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down, and do subscribe for future updates.